Starting this week, CENTRO wants to hear from you about its plan to redesign Onondaga County's bus network. Joining us now, Bren Daiss, Senior Director of Service Planning and Special Projects for CENTRO. Bren, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Before we get to it, how people can weigh in, we'll get to that in a second because there's a lot of opportunities for them, especially this week. How do we even get to this point? I mean, like, why do we look at all of a sudden, we've got to really redesign this system for it to work well for the people we serve?
Yeah, we're in the midst of designing our bus rapid transit system here in the Syracuse area, and we've identified our 2 BRT routes, and we know those routes will run every 12 to 15 minutes. But we also need to evaluate the entire system and to look at it as a whole and ensure that the BRT routes work in tandem with our regular line buses. So we're working now at redesigning the entire Onondaga County bus network, and we're calling that Better Bus Onondaga.
I'm going to get to BRT in a minute, but I'm curious when the last major redesign of the bus network was for you guys, where you really went through like you're doing now.
It's been a while. Yeah. Here in Syracuse, we made some major service changes in about 2011, but we really haven't done a full system redesign in over 20 years. Instead, we've made some incremental changes throughout the years based on service and demand needs. And in our Rome location, we redesigned the network last year, and it's working great. So we're really excited to see the same thing happen here in Syracuse.
Yeah, so is it part BRT, or is it just that people's needs and travel patterns are just different now? Because, I mean, honestly, sometimes when you see the buses, you don't see a lot of people on there. Is it just not serving them the way that it needs to?
Well, hopefully you also see some buses with lots of people on it.
Oh, sure.
During the pandemic, we really saw some ridership decreases, obviously. Since then, travel patterns have changed. It used to be that our main commuter concern was to bring suburban employees into the city for work. And now we're seeing the exact opposite. We're seeing city residents needing to get out to the suburban locations for work. Also, work schedules have changed. People don't work 8 to 5 Monday through Friday anymore. They might go into the office 2 or 3 days a week. They might work longer 12-hour or 10-hour shifts instead of the typical 8-hour shifts. And that's part of the reason the system redesign is necessary, because of these major changes to travel patterns.
Right, and now we get to bus rapid transit, because that also plays into it as well. I mean, what is it? How does it impact the redesign? When we talk about this BRT, what are they, different kinds of buses, different routes? What is it?
Yes, all of the above. So CENTRO's in the process of defining our BRT network, that bus rapid transit. And it's about reaching key destinations and delivering enhanced transit experience for much of our transit riders on these specific routes. So the goals in BRT are about improving travel speeds and reliability, increasing frequency, giving all-day service to core and key destinations, and really about improving customer experience in the forms of better stops and stations along BRT routes, better information, and better accessibility. We're working to improve access to work, school, and service opportunities, and in turn contribute to making Syracuse a more vibrant and prosperous community.
Are they different vehicles at all, or is it just a different kind of system?
It will be an enhanced version of our vehicle. We are changing out the some amenities on the inside. We'll have some infotainment centers so that there'll be more information on the inside. There'll be different stations on the roads, so it'll be obvious that it's a BRT station, and it'll have additional work in the infrastructure of the intersections as well. So like crosswalks and the bus pads and the seating and all of that is going to encompass what a BRT station looks like and the accessibility to get to it as well.
Got about 30 seconds left. Try to do the best you can. People can weigh in starting this week. There's a bunch of different opportunities, and if they can't make it to one of these forums, how else can they offer their thoughts to you?
So the easiest way is to go to centro.org/Better Bus Onondaga and click on Get Involved. That gives you the list of the 7 events we've got happening this week. We've also got online surveys that you can take, and the events happening this week won't be formal presentations. They'll be set up with stations for people to get more information and talk to CENTRO staff and our planning consultants and give feedback.
Perfect. Bren, thanks so much for your time. I know there's a lot to cover, so I want to have you or somebody from CENTRO back again to talk a little bit more about this as we kind of progress down the line on this. Certainly an interesting topic and a lot to cover, but I think this is a good starter. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We look forward to coming back and talking to y'all about it again.